Sup, bruh? Are you spending a lot of time indoors and gaming lately because of, life? Well, if that's the case, don't be basic about it and up your controller game with SCUF. I use both the Vantage 2 and the Prestige controller. Yeah, I actually do use both of them, one for PS4, the other for both Xbox and PC. They look awesome, but the main appeal is the paddles on the back, which you can assign to any button on the front, meaning you never have to take your thumbs off your joysticks ever. Oh, but Fallout, you could just play claw though. Yeah, it ain't 2005 anymore, bruh. You don't need to do that to your poor hands. Check the link in the video description or just use promo code Fallout at SCUF.com to get a 5% discount on your order. Hey, what is going on, Guardians? Fallout here, and guess we're doing this today. As you might realize almost immediately, I do not have a script written out for this video. I'm kinda shooting from the hip here, going with my gut and that kind of nonsense. Not the worst thing in the world though, so not a big deal. I think it makes the video feel a bit more conversational, a bit more laid back. Anyway, topic of today's video is the current Guardian Games event going on in D2, and it will continue to go on from now until May 11th. So what are the Guardian Games? I think we all pretty much know by now. It is a competition between every class in the game, the Hunters, the Warlocks, and the Titans, to see who, I guess, grinds the hardest in Destiny. You go to the tower, you pick up some bounties, you pick up some emblems, you go out into the wild, you grind them out, you bring them back to the tower, you dunk those medals into the podium, increasing the stature of whatever class that you're repping, and rinse and repeat. There are medals for different activities. You got medals for Gambit, you got medals for the Forges, you got medals for PvP, you got medals for strikes, but unfortunately, completing the medals is all kind of the same thing. Go to a place, generate a bunch of laurels, which you get for a super, a melee, or a grenade kill. Pick up those laurels, do it on this subclass, do it on that subclass, kill more enemies, and what have you. I've already covered what I think is pretty much the most effective laurel farming method, although there are plenty of others out there. If you want to check out that video that talks about laurel farming in general, you can check that out on my channel. But yeah, laurel farming and medal grinding and triumph completing, this is kind of Guardian Games in a nutshell. And what are the rewards? Oh man, the rewards are, the rewards are just, dear, what are the rewards?
A machine gun.
A machine gun. Yeah, the new exotic power weapon, the Heir Apparent minigun, is kind of the only real tangible reward you can get right now from Guardian Games. I should make things clear, we've only been in Guardian Games for about a week now, so there's always the potential that Bungie has more content kind of up their sleeves. Maybe they'll drop something hot on us out of nowhere. That couldn't happen, could happen, either way, but for right now, nothing new has happened since the launch of the games. So we have our exotic power weapon, which actually is kind of fun. But outside of that, there are really only two tangible rewards that I can think of, one of them being at the end of the event. Whatever class armor you have is going to be bronze, silver, or gold, depending on where your team finishes. And the other thing is that whatever class wins is going to get a statue at the tower. I feel like I need to make something clear before continuing with this video. I gotta make it clear that not every bit of content Bungie gives us, the Destiny player base, is going to be a home run. That is the dream though, right? Every bit of content they give us, oh man, slam dunk, knocked it out of the park, beautiful. We love playing it, we love grinding it, it's fun, it's worthwhile, it's entertaining, it is low cost, everyone can play it, booyah. If every piece of content in the game was Forsaken level good, that would be amazing. But of course we all know that is not the case. And I wouldn't expect it to be. I'm sure Bungie has dynamite content lined up for certain seasons, for certain releases, and then in the meantime they fill in the cracks with, you know, passable content, things to keep us busy and entertained. They're probably not gonna knock it out of the park every time. Having made peace with that, I still feel that the Guardian Games event is exceptionally empty. There are new outfits and there are new emotes, which are kinda nice, but again, as you might predict, those are all available via the Eververse. I don't think I would mind the existence of the Eververse so much if they didn't lean on it so continuously, through each new season of content. I do know that with Activision gone, the Eververse is probably really good for Bungie to have to continue future success and funding of the game, so I definitely understand its importance and its current role in the world of Destiny. But again, it's kind of lame when you have a new activity come into the game and so much of the, quote, content is just in the Eververse. Kind of feel like my entire griping with the Guardian games could be summed up by missed opportunity. I don't know about y'all, but I was picturing something along the lines of the Olympics, but in Destiny. I feel like that's kind of the visual goal with all the flair at the tower and the medals and the podium and all that good stuff, but the mechanics and how it works does not feel like that at all. I could throw out some ideas right now. I'm sure you could poke holes in a lot of these ideas because they're just off the top of my head, but still. If we had even had one new gameplay addition, maybe like a strike playlist where you go in with only your own class. You can only matchmake with other people of that class, some kind of a weekly competition, and then Bungie lets you know, oh, this class did the most strikes at the end of the week, and then you're rewarded with a new piece of gear, something like that. I think Datto suggested like a 3v3v3 PvP type game type where you could only potentially match with other classes and just battle it out in a multi-team sort of scenario. That's a pretty badass idea. Yeah, it would probably be pretty unbalanced, but who cares? What if you did it like Mayhem? What if you did it where no one really cares at all? It doesn't give you glory or anything like that. It's just a fun Mayhem scenario of all the classes duking it out with each other. What about a similar idea for other match-made activities in the game? Gambit, Forges, whatever. It's kind of hard to come up with ideas on the spot. Point of the story is that I feel that almost anything would be better than what we have right now, which is just grind bounties the activity. I hate parroting things from extremely toxic threads, but there was something I read and have read multiple times that I definitely agree with, and that is that bounties should not be considered content. I know, technically there's more to the Guardian games than just bounties, but it feels like 95% of it is very focused on grindy bounty completion. And that's not to say that I'm a guy who is opposed by principle to grinding in general or doing a ton of bounties. I've entered no life grind mode plenty of times. I think I was one of the first people to get the heir apparent gun without deleting a character and just grinding it out straightforward. My point being is that I would be much happier going into the game and grinding out silly, meaningless bounties if there was a bigger pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Don't put it past us players, man. If there is a good enough pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, we will do crazy, stupid, brainless grinding to get there. All we need is some remotely tantalizing carrot at the end of the stick, and I'm off, bro. I was sort of motivated and driven by grinding out the heir apparent. I saw it kind of like a personal challenge. The gun isn't horribly amazing, but it is very fun, very memey. I do enjoy it a lot, and I'm satisfied that I grinded it out. I'm glad that I have it now. Only problem is it was the only real carrot. It was the only real pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for this event, and now that I have it within the first week, I don't really feel like participating in the Guardian games anymore. There's kind of just no point anymore. I know the point is ideally to represent your favorite Guardian class and get that statue in the tower, which is fun. I get that. But we gotta have more rewards. We gotta have more loot. We have to have more carrots on strings, on sticks to chase that are outside of the realm of the Eververse. On that note, here is a very, admittedly, small potatoes gripe, but I gotta bring it up. The fastest way to accomplish getting the heir apparent exotic, you had to complete 7 triumphs in order to claim the gun. All the triumphs were just specific to playing the Guardian games, no matter what. If you were participating in the Guardian games a whole bunch, seems like over time you would kind of naturally earn the gun. But of course, the fastest way to get the gun is to play the Guardian games on every class, which is kind of funny and ironic in a way because it kind of goes against the entire point of what the Guardian games was supposed to be. You're supposed to pick one class and rep that class and try to get them to first win the gold medal, bring home the gold, and compete with the other classes. But of course, there are plenty of us out there who want to grind out the actual physical rewards. So we're definitely gonna play on more than one class. I can already read some of the comments. Well, you can always just play on one class. You didn't have to get it right away. I mean, yeah, I know, no one has to get the loot right away, but you have to think that some people are definitely going to try. I gotta give credit where credit is due though. I think it's a really fun idea on paper to have the classes directly competing with each other. Every time I see a Reddit thread or a Twitter exchange or people in Twitch chat kind of riffing and ribbing one another for playing, you know, a class that it's just the fun banter between the community. Oh, you play a Titan, oh, you suck. Oh, you play a Hunter, I hate Hunters. It's just the fun banter that goes back and forth. It's something about Destiny that I truly love in a nice way though. I like the fun, harmless aspect of it. There are definitely some people out there who take it a little too far. If you've ever told someone else to ingest chemicals because they play a class that you don't like, going a little too far there, buddy. You know, bring it back, bring it back. But the general ribbing I do enjoy, and I think it was a good idea to center an event around the healthy competition between the classes, and it makes some fun moments in the community. I just think the Guardian Games was executed kind of poorly. Although I gotta tell you, some of the best content that has come out of this event, some of the best endgame rewards of the Guardian Games, truly has been watching some of the back and forths unfold on Twitter. You might think I'm memeing right now, you might think I'm joking around. I'm being deadly serious. Some of the reactions and the threads on Twitter, watching people have kind of meltdowns, thinking that Bungie is behind the scenes, pulling the strings and intentionally rigging the results of the Guardian Games to make the Titans feel better, stuff like that. There are legit some people out there going after Bungie with the conviction of some people trying to track down Obama's birth certificate. Like, Bungie, pull back the curtain and show us the data of the Guardian Games. You're lying, Bungie, you're pulling the strings. It's really entertaining to read, I gotta tell you. I'm probably gonna get some flack for that. Oh well, that's the Guardian Games, my thoughts on the Guardian Games. A cool idea, kind of poorly executed, a missed opportunity. If Bungie still has more content coming down the pipe in the Guardian Games, can't wait to see what it is. And if not, well, I guess if not, then I'll just look forward to whatever we got next in Season 11. If you have any unique thoughts that you are passionate about and want to share without sounding like a D-bag, do me a favor and sound off down below in the comment section. Do the like thing, do the sub thing, do the notification bell thing, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Discord, follow me on Twitch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.